thank you very much. And James, that was an excellent presentation, and you really brought it with some fantastic slides. So I was quickly trying to do something to match the slideshow intensity. So I'm here to talk about the Edmonton market. So if you're a seller right now in the Edmonton market, you have a happy face. I don't know if you can see that. And if you're a buyer right now, it's a sad face. And I don't know if you can see that because my thing is not showing. But anyways, all kidding aside, yes, it's been quite a year in 2022 for Edmonton. It's a great seller's market. Things have been going quite well. Just a quick reminder that the latest Real Estate Association of Edmonton numbers come out about the second or third of the following month. So we're about just a little bit less than a week away from knowing what April is going to do. But and especially kind of the one thing that is potentially going to see whether or not this interest rate hike had any type of an effect. I know that's a couple of weeks ago now, and certainly some people had a bit of a breather, but certainly, and us realtors who are boots on the ground can certainly see whether or not things are slowing down, and it does not seem to be doing that whatsoever, but we'll certainly get the updates. But we've got to go with the numbers that we have, and so we're going to take a quick look at what happened in March. Total residential unit sales were up 45% compared to February, and they increased 35% from March 2021. Single family home sales were up 21%. This is a big one. Condo unit sales were up 67% from last year, March 2021, and they were up 63% from February. Single family homes are averaging $503,000, a 9.9% year over year increase, and a month to month increase of 2%. So we are really rolling along. Single family homes averaged 27 days on market, 15-day decrease from February. Again, condos also improving. They're sitting at 51 days on market. So anyways, those are the numbers. They're very strong. A little bit of how did we get here? Well, we did have a selling season last year that also started early. Normally in Edmonton, the official selling season is April, May, June, but it really kind of gets started in March. In 2021, it started in January, apexed in April, leveled off May, June, and then things slowed down in July and August as Alberta opened up. People could suddenly sit on patios. They could attend outdoor events. People's thoughts on real estate kind of went elsewhere. And we really were in a bit of a balanced market, basically right through the rest of the year. And certainly kind of looking back now at the home price index, you can kind of see where things leveled off a bit. But as soon as the calendar turned in January, things got really busy. It was a perfect recipe of less listings than normal for January, February, and more buyers in the market. We did have a flood of new listings in March, but it seems that the increase in buyers that started to come out also matched that, and so things continued to move along. James did a great presentation on what's happening with the increased rates. My feeling is that there's three camps. There's the one camp of buyers who are already pre-approved and are now, and I've got two different groups of buyers that are doing this. They're frantically trying to find a house before their 90-day pre-approval ends. And so, and they have to potentially go back. So they're out there frantically trying to find some houses. There's those that realize that things could potentially get worse from an interest rate standpoint based on what the Bank of Canada is strongly suggesting in June. So they're out getting approved for their 60 to 90-day pre-approval. And then there's those that really aren't necessarily following things as much and not realizing that, there's a lot of variables behind why this move was made. And they're just and moving towards the normalization, as James had talked about, and they're kind of going, I'm out, I don't get it, not necessarily understanding. So I'm just going to take a bit of a reprieve, which potentially can allow an opportunity for other buyers to not necessarily get caught up in what's happened over the course of the past 4 months in Edmonton with multiple bid situations, over list prices that are getting quite substantial. Again, going back to last year, over list prices were maybe $10,000-$15,000. We're certainly seeing a lot of $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 over list as things continue to get kind of crazy. So what does all this mean, and what does it mean moving forward? Well, certainly all the indicators are there that we are looking positive and optimistic towards a longer run. One of the different things that I think everybody in our office is seeing is that we're hearing and we're working with a lot more BC and Ontario purchasers. Obviously, a lot of them are investors because we deal with investors, but we also deal with homeowners. And conversations that we're having are that they just simply can't get into the into the BC or Ontario markets, and the job prospects are pretty good. That's probably one of the most encouraging things that I'm hearing from people. I haven't heard those words in several years, that the job prospects in Alberta are pretty good, and that's why they're coming out. And they're coming out here for quality of life. Instead of buying a 600 square foot downtown condo for $500,000, they're coming out here and buying a beautiful single family home and making the move. It's snowy and wintry in Toronto. It's snowy and wintry in Edmonton. So let's move out here. The other thing as well, I mean, unexpected and tragic with what's happened in the Ukraine. That's obviously had a huge positive effect on oil and gas, which obviously places like Alberta is going to be a benefactor. It's an unfortunate circumstance, but there's obviously a lot of winners when there is war, and that certainly is something that we'll have to keep an eye on when it comes to how that's ultimately going to affect Alberta in the long run. So right now, it seems like there's no signs of things slowing down. There's still great opportunities. There's a lot of interesting things going on in the marketplace from an investor standpoint. Had a great conversation in our breakout room about appraisals and refinancing in that. And there's a lot of people that are looking forward to more comparables coming on the market. That's going to give people a better opportunity to refinance and take some money out of their properties. That those people that were smart and were buying. I had a great conversation with an investor today who I think she said she bought 3 or 4 properties in 2020, and now looking back, wish she'd bought about 10 or 12. But things always look great, or like a better idea looking in the rearview mirror. So it's a great time to be meeting with your Mogul agent to figure out best opportunities for you. There are some great deals going on in the marketplace right now, so be sure to reach out to us, and we can help you with your next purchase. And that's an Edmonton update.
Devin, could I ask you a question, please? Here, it's Erin.
Hello.
Hi. So just a quick question. You're talking about the home values increasing. So I'm working towards getting my first investment property, but I am a new homeowner, first-time homeowner from last year. And I bought early March for a very, very good pre-sale purchase of $254,000. Would I be correct in saying that with what you're saying and the units that I have down in the south and seeing the values they're selling for now, I'm seeing my equal property, a 3-story townhouse, great location, selling for $369,000. Does that sound accurate to you as far as the increase in home value over this, year and a bit?
Sorry, you're talking about it. So you bought last year for $255, and now you're seeing some comparable properties selling for $369 this year?
Yeah.
Well, there has definitely been a significant increase in a lot of areas. Ultimately, if houses go up when there's demand, and there's been a tremendous amount of demand, and when people start paying and overpaying for properties, those now become the new comparables for that market. And as we move forward, if it's sustainable, then that becomes the new value of those properties. If ultimately things start to cool, either for the various reasons that we've talked about, whether it's continued interest rates and stuff like that, and things start to level off and start to come back down, then ultimately the market's going to start to come back down too. I've been helping a lot of people buy a lot of properties in various areas, and I've been really relying a lot on the home price index and the price estimator to see what's happening in the various regions. That have been pleasantly surprised and a little bit shocked at how much different communities have gone up. But ultimately, again, just if you want to have a better understanding, I've come to rely on the home price index quite a bit. over the last couple of months with a lot of clients, and it's helped out a lot. And I just suggest hooking up with one of the Mogul agents that can take you through that and get a little bit more dialed in on what's happening in your community.